Good evening. Hi, this is Terry from Little Queen, and I'm here in the Washington, D.C. area. I am still, hopefully, this is a little update. I've been on YouTube in a long time, so this is a little bit of an update. So, um, just saying hello to you guys and to my pretty much uh, progress that I've been pretty much trying to do in my life. Um, Things are still the same. I'm still pretty much in the same situation. It is the first of the month, so still going through a lot of transitions in my life and pretty much trying to make things change. But I'm really trying to make things change for myself, but they aren't changing how I want them to. And sometimes that's life. You want stability in your life, but you have to compromise with some things. Um, I do agree that that safety is the number one issue. Being a young woman like myself, again, young woman like myself in a very political uh, and very busy city like DC. And pretty much you have to, again, compromise with a lot of things. Safety is number one important, but also food and shelter and just pretty much basic assistance. So, again, food and shelter is number one. Of course, food and shelter is number one. But if you're not getting food from one place, then you have to go to another place to get food. And if one shelter is not giving you any assistance, you have to continue to go to another shelter. And then if that shelter doesn't help you, then you have to go to another food pantry. And if that food pantry is closed, then you have to go to another food pantry. And if that food pantry is closed, you have to go to this, and you have to do this, and this, and this. And if if the social services agencies have been closed on me, I've been, I don't know, I can't get my license. It was stolen, and just this and this and this and this and this after another, after another, and dealing with a lot of women, especially black women, young white women, pretty much young women like myself that are very, have very influential, um, how do you say, they're very influential about what they do. They have a lot of authority about themselves. So just being a woman with a family and a husband and a child of teenage age, you have influence over someone like myself who is single and African American and not as highly influenced as a person as you are. So I'm not really, again, I'm looking for a job and I'm trying to go through, process a lot of stuff that I've been going through. But pretty much my main goal in life right now is just to get my life in order, to um, to reenlist, to go back to school, to accomplish a lot of things, and that's just life. Pretty much, that's just how life is. And you meet people along the way. Like I've seen people from Chicago, I've seen people from Dallas, I've seen people from New Jersey, I've seen people all over here in the DMV area, the Washington DC, the DC, Virginia, Maryland area. I've seen people from all over, and they don't say anything to me. They just look and stare and go about their way. And you know, I'm just like, I'm struggling right now. Have this new little puppy friend, Smokey, Smokey, Smokey. Hey, hey, Biscuit. That's my new little friend. So But I'm just pretty much trying to do the very best I can with what I have. I really don't have a lot. And from day to day, like I made goals this month to eventually move up further north to New York or maybe back to the Boston area. And obviously that didn't happen because I had to get right with the bank. So I'm green with the bank, but I'm still negative in a lot of situations of my life. I still have bills out. I still have student loans. I still have goals of going back to school and getting another job in the medical field. I still, have aspirations of getting my own place, of getting back in work, getting cash for Uber and Lyft, and pretty much everything I can. But it's been a struggle. It's been a real hard struggle going through this homelessness and getting ready for grad school. My job is not just to go to grad school and get another master's degree, a master's degree in health administration, or English or education, just get a master's degree in education, whatever. But actually, I really do want to pursue this goal of working in the medical field and becoming, a physician assistant or getting my nurse practitioner degree. I've been trying to become a nurse, an RN, a registered nurse, for a very long time, over the past 15 years. Since pretty much I've been in middle school and elementary school. So that has been one of the hardest goals in my life. So again, I still have a lot of conflicts with the church. I have a lot of conflicts with family members from Texas. I have a lot of conflicts with, general women of my own race and stature. I may not be as financially secure as these women, but just because they're a little bit more financially secure than I am, they think they may have an upper hand. And again, a lot of people compare my life to the color purple all the time. And, this is just a wig and everything like that. But, again, this is not a 1985 movie, fictional movie. The Color Purple was a fictional movie, and this is real life. This is the real life of myself. I'm living this real life in this tough world, and eventually, The Color Purple. It really didn't talk about anything about the winter time. There was no winter time, hardly any winter time in The Color Purple. It was pretty much summer all the time. Throughout the 70-85% of the movie was wet. It was summer, hot, flowers, color of purple flowers and sunflowers all throughout the movie. It was hot all the time. That's how most black people, they struggle through the hot weather. They really did move up north to the cold climates only to get freedom. And pretty much The Color Purple, it was a movie about a young woman who went through child abuse, had her stepfather's children, and pretty much struggled to find her own identity outside of what her social her social her social stature was in life. Celie, played by Whoopi Goldberg, and Sophia, played by Oprah Winfrey, and all the other characters, Danny Glover, and all the other characters in the movie, pretty much played a role, and that was typical of African American, pretty much black people's Negroes, pretty much color folk in the day, was just to settle down. And when the girl got older, 13, 14, 15 years old, she was sent off to marry a man. It didn't matter if the man was old. It didn't matter if the man was young. It didn't matter who he was. And hardly at that time that women married for love. They just married out of convenience. They married because their family said so. They married because their family had it set in stone who they were going to agree for them to be with. That was just how it is. Pretty much that's how it is today in 2019. 2020, 2021, forever, infinity. Pretty much families have control over their daughter's destiny. It could be in any religion, even Christians, Seventh-day Adventists, Mormons, Baptists, Buddhists, Muslims, Chinese. Catholics. That's pretty much how families have it set up. They have their daughters arranged to be with somebody, even if they may not agree to that. That's just the way it is. That's how family structure works. And even in today's society, with computers and iPhones and, inventions and technology and women going off to school and having their own education and having their own degrees and becoming doctors and lawyers and this and that, women still can make more money than the men. But again, to their own family, again, to their own family views, their own family culture, their own family status, how it is arranged is pretty much the women are arranged for marriage. The young girls are having arranged marriage, and the boys can pretty much follow in the family's father's footsteps and work and make money for the family, pass on the family name, and pretty much just general. It's just pretty much general society. That's just how it's always been. Throughout a long time, it's just society how society is, and pretty much I'm still young. I'm still a young woman. I still, have a lot of issues with society and, issues with people's expectations of me. Pretty much being a young woman like myself, going on 34 years old in 1 month. I'll be 34 years old in October. People, even, just because I'm Black, people still have very low expectations of me. Being a African American woman, young feeling like myself, I'm still being called a girl. I'm being called a little girl. I'm still being called a kid every single day. Every single day I'm being called a child. Just because, just because I'm Black. If I was white, if I was Mexican, if I was Arab, if I was any other race, I'd be called a woman, a professional woman. But because I am Black and because it's how society thinks I am, it doesn't even have to deal with anything, with my military experience, my professional background in the medical field, my 2, 3 degrees, I've been working since I was 12, 13 years old, all my job experience, everything like that. It doesn't have anything to do with that. People that they just look at you face on and they see a kid, pretty much a child, because I'm Black. I mean, that's just how society is, But in other cultures, in African cultures, in other countries in the Caribbean, Black women are honored and Black women are seen as strong as the foundation of the family. But here in America, um, Black women, Black men are still seen as kids, as boys, as girls. I'm a Black woman, I'm a girl. I'm a Black man, I'm a boy. And that's just how police are, military are, people in the job force, police, even in the prison system, the legal system, pretty much that's just how society is. It really hasn't changed. It really doesn't even have to do with people in the White House. It doesn't really have to do with President Trump or President Obama or Bush or Clinton or Carter or any of the past, Nixon or JFK. Pretty much that's how it's been for a long time. And, race and society and race and culture still has not changed, especially being a minority. And, the darker skin you are, the more problems, especially being, I was a student at Howard University and I was my roommates were very very dark skinned, but they were highly influential. They're very, very dark skinned, very dark tone. One of my roommates, Kayon, she was very, very dark skinned. She was a beautiful girl, skinny, very curvy, voluptuous, and she was very dark skinned, like this dark. But she was very popular, and my other roommate, she was a little bit darker than me. But again, they're very high class people, and they're that's how their families are. But for me, being a young person, even though I had a lighter skin tone, I was still seen as poor, as needy, and as low class. Poor, needy, and low class. And even being a young woman today in my 30s, I'm still seen as low class, even by a lot of African American women. It could be African women, Nigerian, Kenyan, and Eritrean. I think they call it Eritrean women. I'm still seeing my influence by society is that I'm seen as low class, and I just don't understand even in today's millennial 2019 how to accumulate with society, because pretty much I have to meet my own basic needs. I have to understand I have to meet my own basic needs: food, shelter, and healthcare, food, shelter, and security, food, shelter, and security. And, I'm meeting those needs, but then the other things accumulate with that. And so getting a job, getting education, getting support, getting a social service system, getting assistance from people. And it's just me by myself. I've been pretty much on my own since I was pretty much 16 years old, but I've lived with my family um, up until 18 years old. But pretty much I'm trying to meet my own basic needs. And that's just Maslow's hierarchy of needs, food, shelter, and water, pretty much. Food, shelter, and water. And, once I meet those needs, then of course the ladder keeps going higher and higher. But right now, I have very little support system. And you know what? I think that's how it is in life when you're struggling, when you're going through a lot of situations. I'm not under protective custody. I don't have issues with the law or anything like that. And, pretty much I'm on my own. And people think that I should rely on somebody else. People think that I should be in this kind of supportive facility, supportive housing structure, or be living with somebody else. But you know what? Every single day, I'm I've been independent on my own. I've been struggling to make decisions in my life that affect me for my future, and it's hard. It's very hard because the issue I deal with mostly is getting my needs met. The issue that I deal with mostly is understanding who I am in society and where am I supposed to be. I have lots of goals for myself. I have dreams, I have aspirations, just like everybody else. But my needs and my aspirations and my dreams for most of my life, up until now at 33 years old, have been put on the back burner to pay attention to somebody else's needs and wants. So my needs and my wants have always been put behind to worry about somebody else's needs and somebody else's wants and somebody else's expectations of who they think I should be, and who their expectations of who I am. Pretty much, for example, example is I'm here in DC area. I'm a single young Black woman. I don't have a criminal record. I don't have any issues with the law. I don't have any issues with child support. I don't have any issues with the legal system. I just have a couple bills and some loans here and there. But I don't have any issues with drugs or addiction or bulimia. Or I don't have any problems with prescription drug issues or eating disorders or drug or crack, cocaine, weed, or anything like that. I don't have any issues with drugs or alcohol or eating disorders. But most of my family is obese. Most of my family, my aunts and my father and my grandmothers, they're extremely obese, extremely obese, over 300 pounds, 325 pounds, been over 400 pounds, these women. But you know what? They're still strong women. They're still very influential women, but they're obese. They're obese, very, very much over 300 pounds, over 400 pounds. And, you know, um, they've had the gastric bypass surgery. They both had the surgery. And me on my mother's side and all the other siblings on my mother's side, my other 7 and 8 brothers and sisters have not had an issue with weight, have not had an issue with drugs or alcohol addiction, have not had an issue with the law, have not had any kind of criminal records or background. All of my 7 brothers and sisters on my mother's side of the family have not had any mental illnesses, diseases, or disorders. None of the my other siblings. I'm the oldest out of 8. So out of my mom, Elaine, Battle's children, 8, all of us, we have not had an issue with the law. We have not had an issue with a criminal background. We have not had an issue with eating disorders or anything like that. All my brothers and sisters are very, very, very much successful. That's on my mother's side, her lineage. But her other brothers and sisters, I'm not trying to discriminate or anything like that, but they've had issues with the law. They have issues with the system, constantly in and out of the system. Their baby mamas and their family and their cousins and their friends, the friends of who they associate with have had issues with the law. And so pretty much me, I'm kind of like stuck in the middle. I'm stuck in the middle right there between my siblings and between my aunts and my cousins. I'm kind of stuck here in the middle because the way my dad raised me and the way my other brothers and sisters were raised, they were raised in a very protective environment, foster care, pretty much, and adoptive parents protected them all throughout their life. So they were raised in an environment where they didn't have to be exposed to any of that. And so my brother, he's a Marine. He's very successful. My little sister, La Princess, she's in grad school getting her master's in social work. My other little sister, Verlaine, she's a fitness instructor. My other little sister, Eureka, she's in college. My other little brother, Tyreek, he's in high school. And my little brother, Larry, he's a computer engineer. So all my other brothers and sisters on my mother's side, they're very, very much successful. They're getting their lives together, and they are very much more fairer than me, except La Princess. So, all my other brothers and sisters, they're very, very fair, very, very fair. I mean, they could pass off as Mexican or white. They have long, beautiful, curly hair, very, very beautiful curly hair, very beautiful curly hair, natural, natural curly hair. Even my sister, she's darker skinned, but she has very natural, beautiful curly hair. And they're very, very, very fair tone. My brother, Laking, he's a Marine. He's this tone. I mean, they're very, 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 very fair tone. Very, very fair tone. And so even my youngest brother, Tyreek, he's very, very fair tone. Very, very, I mean, like very, very fair tone. Very like a yellow, like a creamy texture. But on my aunt, um, side of the family, her kids are all dark complected, very, very dark complected. Even my cousin JR and his kids with his ex-wife Lawana, all his kids are very, very dark complected, very, very dark complected. I mean, there's not prejudice like that, but that's just how it is. They're very, very, very dark complected. And that's just how life is, Even being in an African American culture, people still judge you based on your skin tone, based on your status in society, based on how much money you have, based on who your friends are, who you associate with, and basically where you are and what you've been doing. And so I'm still struggling with that everywhere I go. Pretty much, life follows you wherever you listen right there. So pretty much, life follows you wherever you go, and I'm still trying to understand who I am in this world. It's hard. It's very, very, very much hard right now. Trying to comprehend a lot of stuff that I've been going through. I still don't understand it. Um, Even my cousin Sunny with her husband, um, my second cousin Sunny with her husband Patrick. Patrick, he's Cajun. He's white, but he's Cajun. And Sunny, she's very, very dark complected, very, very dark complected. Very dark, but she's a beautiful woman. But she's very dark complected, and their child is very bright because he's Cajun and she's black. But their child is very, very bright. So if I had some of my eggs, gave some of my eggs to my cousin Sunny, um, you know, I mean, their child is very, very, very bright. Um, but she's mixed. But that's just how it is. And I mean, nothing against skin tone or whatever, but pretty much in the black community, people judge you based on face value. So face value means what you look like, what your appearance should be, and also how much money you have and who you know and what kind of influence you have. That's just pretty much how it is in life. That's just pretty much wherever you go. People look at you on face value. They look at you on what they can get out of you and how much you can get out of them. I mean, pretty much, it's just face value. It's what can I get out of you, and how much and how hard of it is going to take for me to get out of you what I want. I mean, that's just how it is, pretty much. And I was thinking of even in the church today, it's still like that no matter where you go in the work culture, even being in the medical field. I mean, you have a good job as a nurse or a doctor, but you're still in that very, very competitive climate where, a doctor or a nurse or a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant or a surgeon can lose their job any minute of every single day just because of a insurance file claim, just because of a workplace injury, just because of a malpractice suit against a patient. So nobody's job, even in today's society, is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in today's society. That's just how it is. Nothing is guaranteed. And even if you're living with a friend or if you're homeless, shelter from day to day to day, nothing is guaranteed. And I'm just learning who I am in this society. I'm learning to just kind of go with the changes, go with the flow. Pretty much just go with the flow. It is hard. It is very, very, very much hard to go with the flow. And every single day is a struggle. Um, just to have basic needs like food. I need food. I need shelter. I need keys to, I need like to my own place. I need a car. I need a job. I mean, just basic needs that everybody in society has. Everybody in society has the same needs as I do. Not just the same needs, but pretty much the same system of wants and needs. So if everybody else has the same structure of wants and needs, then I understand I should also be going in that same direction as society should be. I should also be going in that same direction. But I'm not. I'm not going in that same direction. I'm still being very much slowed down for a long, long time. Being, especially with my father, he was very protective and very, very abusive. I just had to grow up in that climate, and pretty much my younger brother, because it was pretty much a men's house. I was the only female in the environment. So my brother could pretty much not do what he wanted to do, but he pretty much had an upper hand above me because he was a boy, and my father gave him everything, gave him video games and toys and whatever he wanted. But for me, I had to struggle through life. I had to be told to be put back. I had to be told to wait because I'm a woman, and that's what women do. We should wait. We should be demure. We should wait. We should do what the man says. We should just hold on to things, or just to not say anything about it. Just be quiet and just to wait, just to hold on for a minute. Just wait. That's just the way things are, and right now in society is, if you want what you have, if you want what you want, you have to go out there and get it and not pay attention to what people think about you. You have to go and get what you want. And, even if it's a marriage, even if it's a job, even if it's moving to a different city, learning a different language, moving into a different religion, learning culture, people, that's just how it is. If you want what you want, you have to go out there and get it, no matter how strong the struggle is. If somebody says you can't do something, you have to prove to them that not proving to them, but proving to yourself that you can. You really don't have to prove to somebody. You have to prove to yourself that you can. And so, you know, um, I've been struggling with a lot of things. I was in this wedding this past year with an old acquaintance, an old friend. I don't know if she's a friend anymore, but um, an old associate of mine in Chicago. And uh, I was kind of exposed to her family and pretty much kind of just waysided a lot by their family. You know how if people really love and support you, they'll lead you to a higher level. Like how you say it. If you have a really, really good friend in your life, if you have a really, really, really good friend in your life, they will expose you to new things that you've never seen before. They will get you to new hires in life that you've never had before. They will take you to places you've never been before. They will prepare things for you. They will show you things different because that's what good friends do. They just don't have you go through the same thing over and over and over and over again. And especially with not really the black culture, I think, but mainly with women. People think that I should just, um, be put on the back burner and um, just stay inside all day and not really accept life. Just be who I am and just be quiet and just like pretty much the housemaid. That's just pretty much how life is. Being the way that I was raised, I was pretty much the housemaid all my life. And the friends, I had maybe one or two, three good friends, three good mentors in my life. And they showed me to different places that I've never been before. I was in great programs. I was in great community service projects. I was in, you know, going to balls, going to dances, going to meeting politicians, meeting congressmen, meeting all these people, all these different influential people. I was exposed to different things. You know, I was doing things that I never done before, and I was involved in all these community activities, community activism, and all these nonprofit groups. And I was in sports and everything like that as a child, and even growing up. You know, in my younger college days. But now, as an adult woman, I'm kind of feeling the intuition that I should just, you know, be quiet and be in the house all day and just to settle down and not really letting people know who I am anymore. My job, my role is just to sit in a chair and read a book and watch TV all day. That's who I am. That's my job. My job is to take care of the house and to cook and clean and look after the dog. My job is to cook and clean and look after the man and what he wants. And that's really sad, but pretty much that's my job is just to go to doctor's appointments all day. My role is just to, you know, just to be who society thinks I should be. But I'm not who society thinks I should be. I'm a renegade. I'm not who people expect me to be. I'm not. I'm my own person. I have my own mind. I have my own personality. I pay my own bills. I I am my own person. I am in charge of my own health affairs. I'm in charge of my own well-being. Um, I am who I am, and I don't need a man to tell me who I am or a man to feed into me, feed into me who he thinks I should be. You know, I really don't need that in my life. And the progress that I've been going through right now is a lot of these young African American men and older African American men. They think that I'm a young, naive woman and I should be pretty much what they want me to be, but I'm not. So the goal right now is I'm just trying to keep it short. So I know this is a long 30-minute video, but pretty much I am trying to accomplish a lot of things in my life. I'm trying to get goals in my life, get higher in my life, and get a accompanying to this new, just make goals, keep going after life, keep trying to get what I want to get, and keep struggling with pretty much what I want to accomplish, which is pretty much getting back in school, getting my master's degree, getting a good job. I'm getting to a higher education level, and my my goals, my basic needs in life are being, my standards in life are being lower, set lower, and lower. So my expectations of life are reaching higher, but my reality in life is lower. My goals are lower and lower and lower, and that's just pretty much what's going on with a lot of women all around the world. Pretty much all around the world, even with a lot of Asian women. They're very highly successful, highly educated women. A lot of African American women, a lot of Black women, a lot of African women, a lot of Hispanic women, a lot of women are have very much